So welcome everybody who is joining us. We're going to keep on letting people as they're coming in into the space, but I want to be mindful of everybody's time here today. And hey, from Washington, D.C. We're thrilled to welcome everybody. We are thrilled also with the number of people who have shown interest in this topic. Glad to continue the conversation when we're done and really just build up a fabulous internal discussion on all these exciting topics when it comes to cyber, data, AI, and all the new things coming in tech to our world. I'm just going to keep on letting people in. And I guess we'll take one more minute just to allow for, more people to join, and then we'll start the program, everybody. Thrilled to have you here. Okay, I think I'm going to get started with a brief introduction. So you know who we are, and we are, as I said, thrilled to be here with you. So I'm a very excited member of Chief, and I am Hani Tesler, and if Hani is hard, Karen's my middle name, and that works too. I originally am coming from CUNY in New York, and I moved to the Midwest a long time ago and earned a master's and doctoral degree at Northwestern University in Communication Disorders and Sciences. After spending 10 years at Rush University Medical Center involved in teaching, clinical education, faculty development, and craniofacial care, I joined Touro University to head the healthcare and tech divisions as vice provost of Touro University, Illinois. And I am super excited and proud to share some of my team members with you who are here on this webinar today. With a doctorate in instructional design and development, Dr. Janelle Hodges. Janelle, wave your hand. Oversees the cybersecurity and healthcare certificate program. She comes to Touro after completing a tenure at the College of Healthcare Information Management Executives, also known as CHIME, the professional organization for chief information officers and other senior healthcare IT leaders. While there, she led a team of designers, program managers, and student success agents to create a successful university ecosystem with multiple schools, departments, and programs. Dr. Goran Trajkovsky is the Director of Data Analytics at Touro University, Illinois. He is a distinguished leader in higher education and technology with over 30 years of experience. Dr. Trajkovsky's expertise lies in data-driven decision-making, curriculum design, and enhancing customer learning experiences. He is an accomplished author with over 300 publications, including research papers and books focusing on diverse topics like IT education diversity, cognitive robotics, learning analytics, and AI. I'm going to plug Dr. Trajkovsky's latest 2023 book called A More Beautiful Prompt: The Art of Human-Centered Prompt Engineering. It offers a blend of philosophical insights and practical advice on human interactions with artificial intelligences. And I'm going to introduce our esteemed presenters who are joining us today. We have Miriam Sharp. She is a Georgia-based, Miriam, smile, raise, wave, a Georgia-based business founder and experienced corporate executive delivering business and technology consulting for client companies in health tech and med tech in U.S. and international markets. As CEO and founder of the Strategy RX Consultancy, Miriam enables innovators in medicine and healthcare to finance and market breakthrough products and services. Her executive roles have included serving as the founding chief marketing executive for Axos Medical, the inventor of the Micro C, the world's first handheld dynamic digital radiographic instrument. Miriam also serves in leadership positions with government and nonprofit organizations in the fields of healthcare innovation, policymaking, technology entrepreneurship, and academic advancement. She earned a BA in government as a General Motors Scholar from Cornell University and an MBA in strategy and marketing from the Yale University School of Management. And Nima Wasira Johnson is the Executive Director, Information Security Governance, Risk and Compliance at Trustmark. Nima brings a wealth of knowledge and experience, not just in governance, risk and compliance and information security, but also information technology. Nima has more than 20 years of experience in IT and information security. Prior to joining Trustmark, she served as Global Director of Information Security and Divisional Information Security Officer at Walgreens Boots Alliance. She was there when those two companies joined. There, she was responsible for evaluating the risks of new technology initiatives, global third-party risk management, security awareness, and education programs. Nima holds advanced degrees in information security and information technology and multiple professional certifications, including Certified Information Systems Security Professional, Certified Information Security Manager, Certified Risk Information Systems Control, and Certified Data Privacy Solutions Engineer. And I think significantly for all of us here, she also has a QTE certification, which is a qualified technical expert on board advising for companies. And that's a critical role, and we'll talk a lot about that as we work through our program. So I will now hand it over to my colleague, Janelle Hodges.
Hello, welcome again. Thank you so much, Dr. Tesler. We are so excited to be with all of you today. I would like to welcome Nima Wasira Johnson as our speaker to represent our Cybersecurity and Healthcare Graduate Certificate Program. We are thrilled to have you here today, Nima. Nima also serves on our board of advisors for our graduate certificate program to help make sure we keep our program on the straight and narrow and the cutting edge of the field. So again, we're excited to welcome you as she speaks to us about all of the things that we need to be looking forward to in 2024, the challenges and how we can prepare for them and face them head on. Thank you so much, Nima.
Thanks, everybody. Nice to meet you. Happy New Year. I'll be sharing my screen with some slides that I prepared for you all today. Hopefully it'll be a short presentation of the content that I prepared, but I'm, open for discussion and hearing feedback as I go through the presentation today. First topic, cybersecurity. Everybody here has heard or been a part of a cybersecurity update or incident, or at least has read the news about what's going on in security. I want to present, during my presentation, I will touch base on 4 things that I've been facing as challenges, but I'll also, at the back end of the presentation, I'll touch on ways we can address some of this and how to overcome them. So just to start off the ledge, we all know that cybersecurity threats are constantly evolving. We've, reported an incident at least once a week, right? From big companies like MGM. We've seen mostly recently that were impacted up to the tune of $10 million within a few weeks of the breach being reported. We are also talking about challenges that we're facing around emerging technologies. I know we have Goran here who's going to do a deep dive on that topic, but I just wanted to brief about how that affects us in our day-to-day lives. We have regulations and compliance, as well as the high demand for a type of skill set that we need and the shortage of skills that we have and how we can overcome those. I wanted to start my presentation here with the emerging threats. So this is an interesting data point for me. I jokingly say this slide lives rent-free in my brain, because this is where everything hits the fan and you're like, oh my goodness, right? We've all used Facebook, right? We've all used Yahoo Mail at some point. What this represents is the number of data and the volumes of data that we've lost as a result of cybersecurity hacks. There's a hot link here. What this link presents to you is basically an active feed of anyone within the company, within the world, has lost data as of 2022, and the reasons of how that data was lost. So when you look up, when you think about it, we lost over 533 million records from Facebook alone. You've seen the challenges all the way through Congress where they went and talked about this case. Here, when you do a deep dive, you can understand that the data wasn't lost because of a failure in a technical control. For the most part, the failure was a result of just human errors. So if we can avoid human errors, chances are we could have protected 500 million records, right? And so this is just one scenario, but you can look at T-Mobile, Microsoft, additional companies as they're represented on this screen. All of these are not meant to scare us, but are meant to give us awareness, right? And the more you know, the chances are we can take the steps that were needed to address some of these challenges. The next section that I'm going to touch on is the emergence of technology. Like I said, Goran is going to talk a deep dive about AI, but I wanted to bring here that the generative AI and the large language learning models have reshaped how we live, how we work, and how we do business. When you look at ChatGPT alone, it was released early January, and now at the end of 12 months later, we have over 180.5 million users of that technology, and that number grows every day. But it's not alone. There's also Google has its own ChatGPT equivalent, as well as Microsoft within Bing. All these technologies are embedded in websites, they're embedded in applications and apps and tools that we use every day. On the right side of the screen, it gives you an example of some of the use cases ChatGPT has. We use it in HR to prepare job descriptions. We use it in education, in writing papers, data collection, customer service. You've all seen a use of chatbot to help with customer service, as opposed to having a human interaction. You're actually, for the most part, interacting with a ChatGPT equivalent. So all of these are use cases that are helping us write code or contextualize and write blogs and do marketing and a bunch of other things that we wouldn't normally have used technology for. This has made it easier for us to actually deliver for our customers and improve how they're receiving our services. Another challenge that we have is compliance and regulations. This is a big one. The National Cybersecurity Strategy was released early March. What this says, as a government entity, how are we protecting our citizens from cybersecurity threats? There's attacks from nation states. There's attacks from just cyber kitty players. There's companies that have actually developed attack as a service, where you can pay for that service and they'll give you a script just to attack somebody else. So what the National Cybersecurity Strategy is to try and prevent all these things from impacting our day-to-day lives. When that went live, the SEC said, so how do we understand what kind of incidents are happening? So they created a new policy and a law that was adapted on December 13th that says, hey, whenever you have a material incident that is whatever material means for you and your organization, it has to be reported to the SEC, provided your financial institution. In this one, triggered more effect. There's always a trickle effect with law, right? New York came out with their amendment that says, these are provided you're delivering services to anyone in New York, these are the things that you need to follow. You need to have a board or somebody within the organization that can attest to the security and the controls around your environment. The last one here on the screen is the health and human services. This is intended to protect the patient and the healthcare area of our lives. So when the healthcare department goes into HIPAA and says, how are you protecting the privacy of individuals that you're serving? This is the organization that takes oversight on some of those areas. So it too has released enhancements on how to improve cyber resiliency and protect the patient safety. So I wanted to pause here, but I wanted to not only share all the challenges, but it gives me an opportunity to just be able to share how do we overcome that. The last piece that I'm going to talk about as far as challenges are concerned is the shortage, the high demand for skilled employees, but we're seeing a shortage. So we're seeing a shortage not only in technical skills, but also in leadership skills. Hani mentioned earlier that I became qualified technical expert in advising boards. So as a national crisis, we want our leaders who are leading these multi-billion-dollar organizations to also have the skill set that they need to be able to invest appropriately on the risks associated with cybersecurity. So when I come into that space, I basically said, how is cybersecurity risk managed? And also helping them understand that cybersecurity risk cannot be separated from business and financial risk. They all work together in tandem, and you can't separate them as two different entities. By merging these two, you're more likely to identify if their lost appetite for my organization is 1 billion, maybe I should take 5-10% of that and invest in training, invest in technology, and ways you can improve the security of the information and the customers that you're serving. Now we're jumping back to education and how it helps us. So I was very excited to see this presentation come together, especially with the partnership of Touro University. Touro University, Janelle is going to talk more about how it all fits in. But here I'm highlighting the skill set that we're lacking currently in the cybersecurity industry. We're lacking cybersecurity governance and strategy. How do we build a framework for understanding and building a framework for how we manage cybersecurity? And how does having a framework help us? So it ensures that security governance and objectives aligns with the business objectives. When you mismatch the business objectives, then you're more likely you're not focusing on the actual risk, which can have a downtown effect on your organization. Understanding risk management. How do you categorize in the methodologies associated to cybersecurity risk? This helps us to identify what are the critical assets, our crown jewels, and see what are threats and any vulnerabilities that are impacting those crown jewels. Compliance, I mentioned the laws and regulations, those continue to change all the time. We saw Sarbanes-Oxley where it required to have somebody on the board who understands financials. Now we have a requirement that somebody on the board should understand cybersecurity. It ties the two together and helps us drive insights so that we can stay ahead of any penalties and non-compliance. Threat landscape is also changing, as I mentioned, due to emerging threats, emerging technologies. We've paid over several billions of dollars in ransomware. This affected organizations that are big and small. I think one example that happened recently, and it really touched my heart, is when a ransomware attack happened in Texas, and this particular hospital was impacted to a point where they were unable to release ambulances because the app that was scheduling the ambulances to go out and take care of the patients, that's the system that the cyber attack particularly handled. And it touched my heart because that's human life. So it's no longer cybersecurity as its separate little entity. You can see how it comes down to affecting our day-to-day lives. And the last part is incident response and business continuity. We know incidents are going to happen, right? So this particular skill allows us to know how do we enhance the organization to address those incidents and quickly recover when we do run into a situation. So I like to use the MGM example where the attackers attacked two different companies. One company decided to pay the ransomware to continue with business, and the other one chose to not pay. But that's a decision that doesn't happen with the analyst sitting in front of the keyboard. It really happens at the board level, at the leadership level. Do we have cybersecurity insurance? Can we utilize that to pay the fines? Can we utilize that to address this so we can get back into serving our customers? So all of these are the skill set that we actually all need And Janelle is going to dive into how this Touro University can help us gain those skill sets. And the last piece, I want to talk about the action. So we can all invest in education, right? The benefits are endless. I'm not going to label this slide, but essentially having a cyber savvy workforce, understanding the principles of cybersecurity, it helps with enhancing decision making. Are we making risk decisions, like I mentioned with the MGM, based on the facts and the data that we have in order to continue serving our customers? Are we communicating effectively to board of directors about what are the key stakeholders and how does the cyber safe culture is run across all organizations? Are we taking proactive approach to prevent these incidents before they actually happen? Are we equipping our team with enough skill set to identify, assess, and mitigate cybersecurity risks effectively? So all these are baby steps, but they're all really important steps and actions that we can implement in our at whatever level we are in our leadership in order to support organizations in enhancing the awareness and of cybersecurity across the company. Janelle, I want to pass this back to you so you can see how this ties back to Touro University and how people can utilize the certifications and the classes that you're offering to address some of those challenges.
Okay, thank you so much, Nima. As Nima mentioned, at Touro University, we have our graduate certificate program. And what's great about this certificate program is it really is a partnership between our university and you as executives and your different companies and your teams that work for you. Our certificate is a buildable certificate, meaning it's built on the back of micro credentials and different courses. So it's flexible to fit different needs. It's fully online. Our courses are 8-week courses. So in a semester, you have you have your semester A and semester B. So you get through different courses in 8 weeks. They're all online. You don't have to go into a class on ground or anything like that. It's all hands-on. You earn your cybersecurity certificate in as little as 1 year, or your micro-credential in as little as 1 semester. It's all taught by highly qualified adjuncts who are still active in the field, like Nima and others from our board of directors. You have advisors, and it's built to either help upskill your workforce, to train those to communicate with your board, to train people to move into the field of cybersecurity or to cross into cybersecurity, or to talk about what they know of cybersecurity to others in the executive format. So that way we can help bridge that gap that Nima was discussing. That is one of our biggest challenges with the cybersecurity. The challenges are there. The hacks are happening. We're facing all of these different issues. We just need people to help bridge this gap. And that's where these different micro-credentials and this certificate comes in. Nima, if you could advance. So as you can see, we have these 2 different micro-credentials, health, security, and privacy, which is built through these 2 courses, principles of healthcare security and privacy, and HIPAA and cybersecurity. And then network and cloud security, infrastructure and security is the second micro-credential, and it's built by 2 courses. And those 2 micro-credentials plus 2 additional courses equal the cybersecurity graduate certificate. And so overall, you have 6 courses that equal that graduate certificate. But what's great about this program is you can take these courses in lots of different orders based on what you need, what your company needs, all in an order to fit your needs and what challenges you or your company or your employees are facing. There's a QR code on these slides, and that takes you directly to a chief landing page, a page we made just for this webinar, with more information where you can email us, where you can get information about these programs, about the challenges facing cybersecurity, and how we can help and how we can partner with you and with your companies to face these challenges and maybe upskill you or upskill your teams. I'm going to hand it over to Goran so he can talk about how this works with data analytics and what these challenges and what we can do with that. Goran?
Thank you, Janelle. I hope that you can see my screen. All right. Yeah. Thank you. So as we move our discussion from AI and how it protects our online world let's now explore how it's changing other areas of our work and life. In this section of our presentation, this section is key to anyone leading the charge in tech advancements, I believe. We are looking at how AI doesn't just keep us safe online, but also makes our daily lives better through new technologies. Imagine a future where technology is not just a shield, but a catalyst for positive change, particularly in the vital sector of healthcare. Artificial intelligence and data analytics are increasingly woven into our day-to-day lives. As leaders in the tech revolution, our role goes beyond just programming and electronics. We are the architects of strategies and ethical guidelines that will enhance health and well-being for all. Our leadership transcends the confines of servers and algorithms. We are at the forefront of a new age, one where AI has the potential to transform industries, revolutionize how we identify illnesses, and customize care for the care that each patient receives. Such a transformative power comes with a great responsibility. It requires dedication to ethical practices and a focus on the broader benefits to society. Consider the expanding field of healthcare data analytics, which shows just how much education and technology can alter our approach to health and medicine. Touro University, Illinois' Master of Science in Healthcare Data Analytics stands out as a leading example of such change. This program provides professionals with the expertise to apply AI in healthcare effectively, sparkling education that could revolutionize diagnosis, treatment plans, and patient support. But innovation is only one aspect of our role. As leaders with a vision, we must ensure that AI is integrated into our lives thoughtfully, with ethics and a steadfast focus on improving human health. Our leadership involves championing high-quality, diverse data sets, the vital ingredients of effective AI. It also involves advocating for widespread AI education, making sure that the knowledge to control and apply AI is within everyone's reach. At its core, this is about a basic principle. AI should be a service to humanity, ensuring that technology enriches our lives rather than complicate them. I'm delighted to welcome Muran Sharp as the keynote for this section of the webinar today. She will be discussing the exciting roles of artificial intelligence, data analytics, and machine learning in healthcare. Based in Savannah, Georgia, Muran is a well-established business founder and executive. You can see some of the roles that she has held. I particularly actually appreciate her work and her efforts in advocating for humans' health, heart, and without actually further ado, Muran, let's look into the case studies that you have prepared for us today.
Thank you very much, Professor Goran. When we discussed how I might be able to contribute to this very vibrant discussion, I said, you are the PhD and I am the MBA. So I tend to head into the case study arena. So just before I go into 3 case studies of real companies in the healthcare field, I just wanted to talk through which are the top 10 applications of artificial intelligence in healthcare. And I wanted to let you know that I actually went into Bard, which is the Google AI engine, and I asked Google what they thought, or Bard, who they thought the top 10 applications are. And I actually agree. I took this list and I poked it a bit. And as we go through these, or as I go through and share these case studies with you, you'll see that at least half on this list do appear in actual practical application today in the healthcare field through these companies. Medical imaging and diagnosis has been really at the forefront of AI and really data-driven analysis and useful in diagnosis and also during actual procedures. Personalized medicine, precision healthcare. 10 years from now, there will be no such thing as just getting a prescription from your doctor. It'll be your prescription that will fit exactly with your demographics, your medical history, etc., and that will be very much AI driven. Drug discovery and development, I think we're all terribly excited about the opportunities for, yes, the so-called cure to cancer and other dreadful diseases. And AI is already making tremendous inroads for not only the large pharmaceutical companies, but it's also an amazing tool for the small biotech companies. And I work with a lot of the small companies who in fact are then eventually do work with the large pharmas. Virtual assistants and chatbots, that you see those across every industry, and healthcare is no exception. I think it's upwards of a third of the cost of healthcare in the United States is tied up in administration and bureaucracy and communication. So that's going to make a big impact on, yes, reducing costs, but or the other side of the spectrum is leveraging what money does go into healthcare. Robotic surgery, we've heard about that for years, but now how it is guided will be based on millions of data points coming in from actual surgeries and reviewed and heartily used by surgeons. Remote patient monitoring and telemedicine is going to be a godsend for not only people of all ages and stages, but this is going to be something that becomes a global phenomena where anybody anywhere on earth can be supported through telemedicine consults, and very importantly through you've heard the IoT, Internet of Things, through monitoring devices that they can wear in what's the movement called hospital at home. Mental health support and therapy, one of the case studies, the third one, is a great example of that. And I think you're going to be very excited when you hear a few more details about it. Administrative tasks and workflow automation, that also will be brought to life by one of the case studies coming up. Public health and disease surveillance. I recently was named to the Board of Health of Chatham County, Georgia, which is the fifth largest county, in Georgia, about 300,000 residents. And the public health sector is gravitating toward and contributing to how artificial intelligence will be used to predict as well as manage many aspects of public health, and especially in the disease arena. And then medical research and clinical trials. I've had the opportunity to have been an interim chief medical officer for a tech company in the pharmaceutical industry that is working hard to assure diversity in clinical trials. That's a great example of how artificial intelligence will enable this very vital part of the medical establishment that is conducting clinical trials to be more successful. Next slide, please. So let's get into the meat of it. Oxos Medical delivers an FDA-approved micro-C X-ray device. Yes, indeed, it's the world's first handheld artificial intelligence-powered mobile X-ray. I was the chief marketing officer from 2016 to 2021, and I do have a financial interest in the company. I just wanted to let you know about that. But of the three examples, this is what I would call the most mature example, in that Oxos was founded in 2016 and completed the very successful Series A funding. So of the three here, this is the most mature one I'm going to show you. Just briefly, the market for orthopedic imaging is huge and growing. I have some of the numbers up here. In worldwide, $3 billion. And the factors that are driving this industry and why AI is going to flourish with it is the aging population, of course, tech advancements, and then demand for minimally invasive surgeries. The key challenges to overcome: there have been very few innovations in delivering X-ray technology in literally decades. And the lack of portability or mobility of diagnostic and intraoperative, that means during surgery, radiology solutions happens in both developed and especially developing countries. There is significant radiation exposure for patients and medical professionals alike. So the founders of Oxos Medical, who you'll meet on the next slide, looked for a way to could we do the next slide, please, Goran? Thank you. For a safe, fast, and accurate way to diagnose orthopedic issues and disease at the point of care, and to be able to expand the accessibility to millions of patients worldwide. And for patient satisfaction, reimbursement, these are all more than buzzwords in healthcare that must be present when you're bringing any kind of product or service to market. Reducing radiation exposure by determining the appropriate X-ray setting using the smallest amount of radiation dose is a superpower, so to speak, of Oxos Medical's device, which is called the Micro-C, because it's a very, very small version of what could be the big C-arm that you see in surgeries, or even the mini C, which is a 400-pound so-called portable X-ray that isn't that portable. So what did the founders do to leverage artificial intelligence? Well, first of all, every device is connected to a radiographic imaging platform, and then using AI for all the data, because the images are data, to manage the images, to share knowledge, and be super supportive of the surgeons and other medical professionals as they are planning surgeries, planning treatment plans. And then not too long ago, the company received an FDA approval for, I love this acronym, ILARA, as low as reasonably achievable radiology. And it uses an AI-powered dynamic engine and a machine learning algorithm to literally use the most minimal amount of radiation that's necessary to get the image. Next, please. And this is Meet the Founders, Greg Kolovich, who is here in Savannah, Georgia, where I'm based. He and I met up through a boot camp where I started out as his mentor and then became the chief medical officer within a few months after he founded the company. He also has a BS in electrical engineering from Georgia Tech, and he invented this device to solve his own problems, so to speak. And then Evan Ruff, who was his buddy and roommate at Georgia Tech, who has a degree in an undergrad degree in computer science as well as an MBA, became the CEO. And if you want to reach any of these people or me or through to them, please just jump on my LinkedIn. And I think otherwise the folks who organized this are going to be sharing our contacts after this session. Next, please. Okay, moving along in maturity, AdraVision is also FDA approved, which is key for many devices and systems if they want to go to market from concept to commercialization. And AdraVision uses our AI to, I love the word, elevate dentists and hygienists procedures. It's a huge global market. The dental market, and just looking across 73 countries, it's $5 billion, a reasonably healthy growth rate. And what is driving it? Certainly oral health and its connection to overall well-being. Unfortunately, increasing rates of disease and other maladies and aging population. And then other end of the spectrum, more disposable income to spend on dental health and improvements. And it also, so some of the issues have been that there are misdiagnoses. A significant number of undetected diagnoses, which lead to lower treatment, and of course, for dentist practice, revenue loss. There can be fraudulent claims made not simply because the insurance companies do not have a way to actually follow the data and the facts about what has gone on during dental procedures. And then the dentist workflow and therefore education and training is another target of challenges to overcome in dentistry. So next slide, please. Solutions and opportunities. The AdroVision team developed algorithms to train the system using data and specialized technicians who annotated tens of thousands of instances of bone levels in patients. It helps simplify the understanding of medical issues. That's another. Education is always a part of medicine, and it has very high diagnostic accuracy. This is the solution and opportunities the team went after. Specifically for artificial intelligence, 45% of US adults have periodontal disease, and this is an absolutely powerful tool to help dentists more effectively determine the signs of periodontal disease as early as possible. And then also this data is integrated with practice management systems, much to the benefit of all involved. And underpinning all of it, AI enables clear visualization, workflow optimization, and the all-important business intelligence and predictive analysis. Next slide, please. The co-founders, who are based in Atlanta, but have had significant experience also overseas in Singapore in particular. Yasmin, and he is the chief product officer, co-founder. Hamad, who happens to be her husband, is the CEO and co-founder. He is a dentist and she is a PhD in microbiology and engineering. She has a Georgia Tech background, so there's another Georgia Tech connection here. Again, if you want to reach out to them, I'm available to help make that happen. They are in the funding mode as well. They're raising seed rounds at this particular point in time. Next, please. Nurture. This, of course, is relatable to many of the people on the call here. Nurture targets access to maternal mental health for all women, and they really mean all women. They are incorporating AI and predicting and treating perinatal mood and anxiety disorders. What that actually stands for is it's a common term for mental health disorders during pregnancy, postpartum, adopting and experiencing pregnancy or infant loss. It's sometimes used interchangeably with PPD, diagnosis of postpartum depression. And with 213 million pregnancies globally and 6 million in the US, a study actually did a calculation in terms of the loss to economic loss in the US due to this mental health issue. You could even call it a crisis. And they estimated that for both affecting the mothers and the children, as it's called, a dyad, $14 billion was lost in 2017 because reduced ability to work, higher healthcare costs, et cetera. And efforts to lower untreated PMADs could therefore lead to substantial improvement or economic savings for employers, insurance, the government, and for society as a whole. The challenges are that 85% of PMADs go undiagnosed or untreated. 1 in 5 women who give birth experience postpartum depression. And unfortunately, waiting lists for accessing mental health professionals are often months long. Next slide, please. The solutions and opportunities evolved in the form of a proprietary algorithm that can predict depression and both before it occurs, postpartum, as well as during that period. And it can prevent postpartum depression 50% of the time. This is through actual clinical experience that the Nurture team has gotten under its belt. And then also this offers collaborative care models to help OBGYN clinics extend their help to their patients into the whole mental health arena, and this is reimbursable by insurance. So leveraging AI in particular, again, the predictive ability for actually determining PPD months before symptoms arise using demographic data and medical history. High-risk patients can then use self-directed therapy using a clinically validated program. And so this also makes these solutions highly scalable and equitable and able to reach rural and low socioeconomic status patients to access affordable mental health care. Next, please. And my final slide, the co-founders, Kristen and Bindu are MBAs from MIT, and they are in their very early stage. If you go on their website, you can actually sign up to be alerted to the trials and pilots that are underway. And they're in a very early stage. So they would call themselves pre-seed. Thank you for this opportunity, Goran and team here.
Let's unmute. So thank you, Miriam, for sharing your knowledge and insights with us from your amazing, actually, experience and engagements. So these case studies are real examples of what AI can achieve under good leadership. They show us that AI is not just a giant in the tech world, but it's a powerful tool that can bring about positive changes, especially in healthcare. The studies highlight how AI can make diagnosis more accurate, transform medical imaging, and offer new ways of understanding mental health. Our role as tech leaders is crucial for the future of AI. Our choices and dedication to ethical practices are what will make sure technology helps everyone. As we welcome AI into our practices, we must make sure its growth is ethical and beneficial for society, that we support educational, okay, here are my bullet points. Support educational programs like the Master of Science in Healthcare Data Analytics at Story University of Illinois, which trains future leaders to use AI in ways that will improve healthcare and other areas, and guide technology towards a future which is not just about safety, but also about creating a healthier, happier, and fairer world for everyone. So we face a choice. It's time to take action. Let us guide with intelligence, with intelligence, take on AI with a sense of duty, and work together to create a future where technology connects rather than divides us. Advancing towards an AI-enriched future requires more than just tech skills. It calls for genuine moral bravery. Leaders like you need to handle AI's complexity with ethical awareness and technical skill, making sure every choice is made with kindness and respect for human dignity. Working together across borders is essential when it comes to AI. Miriam pointed out the importance of international collaboration to create consistent rules for AI that would work actually in different countries and regions. Sharing what we know and setting shared ethical standards help us avoid a world where AI benefits are unevenly distributed. While we are excited about the possibilities, we might also stay grounded. Using AI to do things better and come up with new ideas is great, but we have to watch out for the downsides. Making sure everybody understands at least a little about how AI works means that they can think about it critically, and hold the people using it to high standards. Without care,
Goran, forgive me. There's something a little funny with the sound. I'm not sure what that is. It's a little echoey. Don't know why.
Are we a little better now?
It's just a little. It sounds like a little bit of an echo. Not sure why. While Goran's checking this out, I just want to mention to everybody that I'm going to be, we're going to discuss some of the questions that have come up in the chat.
I can
If you can't
switch.
fix it, Goran, don't worry about it. It's not terrible. It's just not as good as it was when you started.
Let's see now. Hello?
Hi, I hear you.
Hello?
Okay, go ahead.
As for that, better now? Hello? Hello?
That's better, Goran.
That is better.
Fantastic. The story of AI is truly about us, about the decisions that we make, the values we instill in technology, and the kind of world that we want to build for the future. So standing on the brink of this new chapter, we should recall that together we can use AI's extraordinary potential to make a better world. I invite you to look into our program, the Master of Science in Healthcare Data Analytics at Touro University. So building on our commitment to integrate AI as a positive force, Touro University, Illinois provides the educational foundation to bring this vision to life. We offer, as I said, the online Master of Science in Data Analytics with a healthcare concentration designed to be flexible and accessible. Whether you're looking to complete the program in just 1 year or at a pace that suits you, your schedule, through stackable credentials that you can see here at the screen, our tiny little boxes with the badges as in our achievement architecture, or in the blue boxes, our micro credentials that are yet to come on our webpage that were just approved in applied data analytics, business intelligence, applied data intelligence, business intelligence, and so on and so forth. So we're excited to announce that our new micro-credentials will soon be available and detailed on our website, offering specialized paths to further enrich your professional journey in healthcare analytics. The details for the speakers are, we are now transitioning to the Q&A section where you can engage directly with our speakers. For further insight, you're invited to connect with us through LinkedIn, browse through actually, a more beautiful prompt, the book that actually Hani introduced, which delves into the evolving interplay between human and artificial intelligences. And follow the discussion actually using the hashtags on LinkedIn that we use for this program. That is hashtag DataRx and hashtag ToroDataRx. I believe that these are valuable opportunities to stay informed on healthcare data analytics topics. If, as Janelle actually pointed out, you can use this QR code or the link on top of on the QR code actually to get to the exploratorium of resources that is aligned with this particular webinar. So Dr. Tessler has been monitoring the questions in the chat. So Dr. Tessler, please take it away. I want to thank you for your attention on this section of the webinar.
Goran, I'm actually going to punt this question to you, but here it is. Most of us consumers find chatbots mildly to enormously annoying and inept. Is there hope? Will the new generation of chatbots, generative AI, take us from what we call artificial stupidity, chatbots to truly intelligent ones? How will this happen? Are there any best examples of chatbots that you expect to come in? And I think this ties into some of the questions that have come through in some of the other chats that I've seen, and whether or not we think that we will have administrative assistance from artificial intelligent chatbots.
In my professional and personal opinion, actually, I believe that we're already there at a time when we have actually efficient administrative assistance and assistance of that are fairly actually general. In my work, for example, I can use ChatGPT for Claude AI and other actually opportunities that we already have to probably actually speed my work at a rate of 10x at this very moment in time. We have the tools are here. I know that there is a lot of noise, the sky is falling, AI is here, but we had those conversations actually 20 years ago when the internet actually came about, or 30 years ago when the internet came about, 20 years ago when Google came about, and so on and so forth. So the tool is here. I always say the future is now. It is not actually, yes, the capability are actually interesting and intriguing, and as their technological innovations actually they would be, I would assume, actually faster and a little bit more intelligent, if you would. But at this moment in time, they're actually a product of human knowledge. They've been trained actually on information that for decades actually we have been putting out there on the internet, exist into the annals of humanity, if you would. So they will, in that particular sense, they use the knowledge of what actually we know as human. They would likely never surpass us in the knowledge, right? They don't invent new knowledge. They actually provide the support in other domains using the existing knowledge. What I was going to say is that they are becoming more powerful. We can customize them easily. I always actually give this actually analogy. 30 years ago, when I was starting actually my work in higher education, to write a paper, I would need to spend about 2 to 3 weeks in a library, right, researching information, collating it together, and so on and so forth. Once actually, with internet and Google search engines and so on and so forth, that time was reduced down to 2 days, and now it's probably, sometimes it can be done in about
2 minutes.
2 minutes, right? So actually that progression is out there. If you are, let's use the term actually, stupidity in the way how it was posed in the question, it has been around forever, and it's probably actually gonna continue be there. But if the question, the meaning of the question was whether these assistants, artificial intelligence, actually are gonna start to hallucinate less, I certainly hope so, and that would actually come up, as our capacities, technological capacities, speed grow, and so on and so forth, so that those services can be actually serving us more timely and, should I call them more or better informed, better supported, actually insights.
Interesting, very interesting. I want to be mindful of everybody's time. We are coming to the end of our session, and I want to thank everybody's participation. We are thrilled. Please take the opportunity to visit our Exploratorium that was listed with the QR code that was posted. You're welcome to visit our site at illinois.turo.edu. And we are thrilled for all of your, there it is, there's our QR code. We are thrilled to have you join us today, and very excited to continue the conversation. There's so much to talk about when we talk about cybersecurity. I want to thank Dr. Hodges and Nima Wasira-Johnson. Nima, that was a fantastic presentation, and I'm so grateful. Miriam, thank you for your interesting case studies on how AI is impacting technology in healthcare. Dr. Tchaikovsky, thank you for your thoughts and insights, and I really wish everybody a fabulous rest of the day, and thank you so much for joining us. We look forward to continuing the conversation in the future. Bye-bye.
Bye now.